Well, howdy there, folks. I'm back again. Yeah, yeah. I know. So, went to see another one of the classic flicks. Tonight's outing was Beetlejuice, the ghost with the most. Yep. Um, it holds up all right. Uh, of course, there's the usual stuff. Um, when you're looking at it through the modern lens, the usual what they say, about a lot of Tim Burton films is kind of true. You know, you know, um, not a lot of, uh, you know, non-white people in the movies, and very few of them are in. And most of those folks that do appear are in very, very minor roles that you aren't gonna get a lot of screen time, um, and stuff like And for a guy who is a weirdo artist, artsy type, uh, weirdo artsy types in his films tend to not come off so well. Very type of person he isn't, and it really is kind of a celebration of uh, the suburbs, in this case, small town America. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but the thing is like aesthetically and the way he comes off, he's supposed to be, kind of. But anyways, I don't know. There's a lot of criticisms about Tim Burton and his films, and a lot of them are kind of valid. Doesn't mean those movies aren't enjoyable. Doesn't mean I can't enjoy them. You can't. In fact, I do. I did enjoy this. Yes, there. Um, Unlike our last few, there are a few jokes and whatnot that don't hold up so well. But they're not as there's not as many of those in this as some other choices. Like you could. It really is kind of hard to totally not view a movie, even one that watched as a kid. It's kind of, mm, you know, your life choices, the way you changed throughout your life. It's hard to not look at a movie through modern eyes. It's not impossible. I did enjoy it. Like I still had a good time. But part of that was the fact that there's not as much as maybe some others. It ages a lot better than a lot of other comedies. Ages a lot better than a lot of other movies of the same era. And when you grow up in an era, at a time, in a decade, especially when you can look back at previous times and go, oh, that was less progressive. This is a lot more accepting of things and whatever. today's progressive, inclusive deal is tomorrow's. Ooh, really? But like honestly, this um, I've had worse movies with as worse experiences revisiting movies or TV shows or whatnot. Um, there are certain things that just don't age so well. This one ages pretty well. There's a few things that wouldn't fly or aren't cool. Oh no, I'm not. No, just like I said last time about Blazing Saddles and stuff like that and other things, you can get these type. You know, you can do things still. It's how. And a movie that didn't do these jokes as well as this one, some of the and most of the more offensive material, you know, is done by, you know, some of the more offensive things are said and done by people you're not supposed to like. The other issue I have with watching a lot of some of my favorite '80s movies is the actor Jeffrey Jones, Beetlejuice, Mom and Dad Saved the World, um, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Devil's Advocate, a number of really, really fun movies. You know, you know, you know, I don't think he was ever caught molesting a kid or anything like that, but the motherfucker was arrested for possession of child porn like forever ago, and also has a tendency to forget to register and stuff like that. So you know, his just being in the movie kind of you when you have that knowledge and you see him and you're like, I used to like this guy, I used to like these movies, and you know, now that his being in the film does sort of lessen my enjoyment of it a little. Not too bad. I can move past that. As far as I know, nobody at that time knew any of this stuff about him. And you know, it's not like you know what did they used to say about Harvey Weinstein, an open secret. Which I've come to understand really means people know, but they don't really investigate so that they don't really know. Or they can ignore it because nobody's talking about it. Nobody's pressing charges. You know, and it doesn't even have to be that much. Like I said, hearing rumors about certain actions of a person and not investigating those rumors to see if they're true. That's how you keep an open secret. I'm certain it goes deeper than that. But anyways, Jeffrey Jones. I've never heard of anybody even so much as knowing anything about his actions, and as far as I know, his actions don't go. I believe it was child porn and possibly soliciting a minor for child porn. But I don't know about that, and I don't want to look into it right now. But yeah, things like that. that's the biggest thing that really dampens the enjoyment. But um, when he's not on screen, you can really let that go and whatnot. I don't know. Uh, art and artists is something I really struggle with. Because there are things I really want to just be able to enjoy, like all of you, and not think about things. But anyways, like, just on to the movie. Movie is, it for the most part, the movie holds up. Is quite. It's still, if you liked it as a kid, you'll still like it. Um, your willingness to come see it, knowing all this stuff, and you know, whatever. But forget Beetlejuice. Take it or leave it. But like I said, if your area is reopened, whether it should or shouldn't, and we shouldn't. Um, if your area is reopened, if you have to be out to work and whatnot, you know, if you can find some place or to see some of these, if you have a mom and pop movie theater or a small chain or just a local theater or better yet a drive-in, especially a drive-in, and they're showing these older films, check them out. They're worth seeing. A good movie is always a good movie. A well-made movie will have more things that hold up than things that make it hard for you to watch it and for lose the baggage. This one had a little bit more, mostly because of Jeffrey Jones. He's a worthless piece of shit. Then or I felt it had more than when I was here last week and watched Fast Times at Ridgemont High and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Indiana Jones really held up, and shockingly, I thought Fast Times at Ridgemont High did. This one still, this one mostly does. The Jeff Jones stuff has nothing to do with the movie. It doesn't affect his performance or the bits in there, and he's not really and it doesn't have a ton of jokes that don't fly today. It has a few, and like I said, most of the lines and actions and whatnot that are questionable or terrible, they're usually they're in the mouths or performed by people you're not supposed to dig, including Beetlejuice himself. Look, yeah, the cartoon Beetlejuice was just a mischievous little guy, but the movie Beetlejuice, people forget. Movie Beetlejuice is a creep. He's a jerk. He's gross, and not in good ways. Like, he's not fun-loving. He's dangerous. He's evil. He actively tries to hurt people. He plans on marrying Lydia, who's in the movie. She's supposed to be 14. I don't know how old Winona was. I do believe she might have still been a minor at that time. I don't think she was 14. But yeah, he tried. Beetlejuice not a good guy. So like his actions and his words are those of a not so good guy. You're not supposed to really. you're supposed to kind of be put off by the deets. So, you know, when they do things that you go, whoa, they're not people that you're supposed to like. Um, you're not supposed to hate them. That's why they don't fully cross lines. Um, and they don't say anything or do anything really bad. They're, but or and Ortho's jokes about suicide and whatnot. You're not supposed to like Ortho. Though Ortho's not necessarily evil. He's just not the good guy. He's not a villainous person. He's just kind of, yeah. The problem with Ortho being a guy you're not supposed to really dig. You're not supposed to hate him. He's not a bad guy. He's not a villain. But the problem with him being someone you're not supposed to dig is, even with them not saying it, there's lots of indication that that Ortho may be a homosexual, and in today's environment, that's not cool. But to make fun of someone like that, but I don't get the idea that most of them are people. Beetlejuice is the only one you're absolutely not supposed to like. Though you kind of do, because he does sort of stick it to people, right? And if you watch the animated series, they make him a good guy. The more negative aspects of him are thrown away. He becomes more childlike, more fun, goofy, weird but goofy. Him and Lydia are friends, best friends. He kind of is into other chicks. He doesn't want to have sex with the 14-year-old. Like was it Maggie Mayfish said in her essay a little while back. However, movie Beetlejuice, I can't speak for. Movie Beetlejuice has a lot more flaw. Isn't just flawed. He isn't just a quirky weirdo. He's the bad guy. But he's not. So you're actually not supposed to like Beetlejuice. So when he does things, even today, are a little off-putting. You're supposed to go relate those actions to being the bad guy. Yeah, his name is the name of the movie. And he's the more interesting character. He's the only weird character that comes off as someone. But, oh no. It's still a fun time. And it's a time to go out to the movies, and it's interesting to be in a theater. There's people in there, but the way that they have doing the seating, if they're doing it right, you can see them and they're spaced out, but they're not close to you. And if they're really doing it right, unless they're eating, they're going to be masked. I certainly am. Unless I'm eating, because it's kind of hard. And maybe I should stay home. Alright, I don't know, man. Beetlejuice. It fared better than some others. It holds up. Your mileage may vary. If you can stay home, stay home. But if you're reopened and you feel you need the support, places like this, preferably though, if you could find a drive-in, or stay home. Like I said, stay home, drive-in, mom and pop place that's doing it right. You know, if it's just you sit wherever willy-nilly and we're not going to control the numbers and vote. I don't care who you vote for. I do sort of fucking vote like your life depends on it. All right, love you. I'm out.